Back on the road to Noctis.
Hush up. As we close in on the city, I'll have to dodge a shit ton of potholes made by the fuckload of traffic. So I'm gonna need absolute concentration.
Noctis is quaint, but too businessy for my taste.
Well, it is a merchant city.
Indeed, but where's the science? Where's the progress? After all, science is the one who made all this possible. I mean, it's also the reason why we're stuck here, but...
When we get there, we should go say hello to Dandolo. He hates it when I don't stop by to peck him on the cheek.
I still like this city. It was the first human place where my brothers could roam free.
I didn't see many of you there, though.
So many memories over there. So many bad ones. The nostalgia of spending hundreds of hours in the unloading area, filling and emptying Marcello's sand sails. Is nostalgia the right word? Because past aside, it feels like home now.
The most exotic goods on the planet. All here, in one stall.
I'm looking for information about a caravan that recently came back from Ophir.
Ah, yes. Yes. The merchants who aren't, you mean? Yes, I knew the caravan's chief. And, yeah, the one who came back kinda looks like him, but sure as hell doesn't act like him. This might sound crazy, but seems to me all those merchants were replaced with... I don't know, but they're not from here. And instead of selling their goods, they're busy asking around about the guards and stock and that sort of thing.
Can you point them out to me?
I could, but I won't. I don't want any involvement. I don't want to be replaced. I'll just tell ya, they've been regular clients since they came back.
Fair enough. I'll just keep an eye on your clients for a while. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. What's your pleasure? What are you looking for?
Hey, did you by any chance see a caravan come back from Ophir lately? Would have had some members who might have looked different than they did when they left.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And they're no regular merchants, that's for sure. They've been trying to blend in, imitate our accents and clothes and all that, but not that well. They try damn hard, though. What happened to the real merchants? No, forget it. I don't even want to know. Scares the hell out of me. Rather not know.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Repent! We won't have access to the Blue Paradise so long as we are not all absolved of our sins. You came here to wash your soul?
I had something else in mind. Could you tell me more about your sect?
I can talk about it for hours, even days.
A few minutes should be enough.
All right, how can I sum up faith? All the truth contained in this world in a few words. I have to bring myself down to my followers' level. I'll skip the beginning of the story. Let's start with the settlers' arrival. So the settlers had challenged Sun by coming to this planet, by leaving heaven to come down to this hell. So he decided to destroy every source of life on Mars. His wrath was terrible. He unleashed a cataclysm that engulfed the world in a dust cloud. He probably would have wiped out every one of us if his son hadn't taken mercy on us and bestowed the blessing of his shadow. And it is in that shadow where the real men stayed, whereas the others, who thought they could withstand the Lord's vengeful eye, saw their features change forever. They became beasts and lost their soul. Today, we endlessly beg the Lord to reconcile with his Son and agree to live in harmony with us, that his eye becomes tender again and no longer burns.
I think I've heard enough. Everyone knows that story. I was hoping there might be something different, but no. I came here to ask for some information regarding your parishioners. Did you notice any strange behavior among some of them?
My parishioner's life is none of your business. You're not one of them, and yet you take the liberty of judging them based on your corrupt beliefs. You are not a believer. You are just one of those pragmatic cynicals, a bad seed.
Listen, preacher, we might have significant differences, but I'm sure that you only want the best of your flock. And I heard that a man from Abundance has tampered with some of them in order to conquer this city. I guess that he spoke badly about me because he knows that I'm against this invasion. I've seen too many people suffer from the war, and in addition to that, Abundance does not tolerate public temples, which would put an end to your lectures.
An invasion? Really? By the shadows! That old son's henchman hadn't told me that. And my temple? You're saying that they're forbidden there? How awful! I must stop that evil being! Send him back to roast under the nefarious beams of his master! I'm surprised his servants weren't mutants, but maybe they were in disguise. More pressing, however, is it that these servants have convinced some of my followers and now have come here to tempt me. Do not worry, the shadow has opened my eyes to save my soul, but has it done so for my followers? The mutation is preparing to make its way towards them. A pity.
Can never be too careful with religious types, so I'll have to keep an eye on these folks. They can spread ideas like wildfire. So we know the spies are embedded in certain groups, but to find out who the spies are among them, we're gonna need to keep a constant eye on all of them. Can't do it on my own, though. Gonna need all my brothers and sisters to take turns, so we can stay discreet.
Greetings, Zachariah.
I'm gonna need everyone's help. ASC's infiltrated Noctis, and as you already know, that's not a good thing.
We just got away from them. Why can't they just leave us alone? What? What do you want us to do about it? Most of us are terrified of them. They're immune to our powers.
I understand your frustration and your fear. I wasn't there, and don't even want to imagine what they put you through. But we don't back down from fear. We're military. We fight. And I will be damned if we will back down from a few fucking ASC spies with lightning rods.
I hope you can see our secret's at risk. But I agree, the best defense is a strong first attack. If we hide and wait for them, we put our secret even more at risk. So what do you propose we do?
From what I can tell, the spies have weaseled their way into 3 groups, but we can't move until we know which members are from the ASC. Moles disguise themselves as mercenaries, religious zealots, and even merchants.
Then I'll dispatch some eyes to keep tabs on those groups.
Thank you.
You know how lucky we are that your Technomancer friends are gonna help us? It's terrifying to know how many groups were infiltrated. The damage they could do could bring Noctis to its knees. You really think Victor's gunning for control of the city?
He just thinks it's an obstacle he can eliminate with the sweep of a hand.
Then he's misjudged the size of the obstacle. We're a lot stronger here than he could possibly imagine.
Wonder how this dome will match up to the one in No Fear.
The one in Ophir? That was your Technomancer hideout, right? I was always curious, but I wasn't allowed near it. Due to confidential shit.
Yes, it used to be some sort of museum. It was a fascinating place.
Looks more like a pile of rocks to me. Let's hope this other one is in better shape. Otherwise, that doohickey thingamajig you're looking for will be really hard to find.
If the dome is really off the grid, then it could still be in good condition. But we should be ready for anything. The scavengers could have beat us to the punch and scrapped and sold it. How big is it? Should we be able to spot it from afar?
I wouldn't bet on it. If I understood correctly, there'll be some small housing domes. But what we're interested in is the archives of these ancient inhabitants.
Heritage. What a funny little... The offspring of those who built the dome probably reside in our cities. Or perhaps even one of us is a great... And yet here we are, chasing after old ruins so we can rummage for answers on our ancestors. How remarkable. Absurd, isn't it?
We have the turmoil to thank for that.
I find humans' curiosity towards the domes curious. Why do you pursue them and other artifacts with such zealotry?
I don't want to be mean, Phobos, but as a mutant, you've become something else. Isn't it hard to keep revering something that brings back memories of those who used and exploited you?
Yes, but no matter what happens, Earth is a forbidden fruit, and for that, we choose to forge ahead and not dawdle in the past.
I can't wait to see it. I've never seen an intact colonial dome. There are only a few ruins in the canyon leading to Noctis, and they are in such a terrible state. Most are so badly destroyed that you'd need a pretty strong imagination to call them domes.
This is the famous dome in the sands. What do you hope to find here, Zack? You never did tell me what you were hoping to find in these ruins.
I made a promise, a vow as a Technomancer, that I'd find a way to contact Earth. So finding a beacon would mean everything.
Hell of a vow, Zack. Usually I only make promises I know I can keep, but I admire the persistence in the impossible. Though I'm not sure there's a beacon here, this dome doesn't look particularly important.
So you hope to find traces in there? Clues on the next step to communicate with Earth? Incredible. It's definitely a long shot, but one worth taking.
If we find evidence of the scientific base that the Great Master's tablet mentioned, I think we can make contact with Earth. And if not me, another Technomancer someday will.
Even so, it's a dream. Equal parts fascinating and disturbing. Do you really think they still want us? Especially since, after all this time, they've never once made contact?
I wouldn't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
See those boxes? There's some plates inside, and I'm not talking about the kind you eat dinner on. They look light, but feel really dense. I wonder what it was for. See those boxes? There's some plates inside, and I'm not talking about the kind you eat dinner on. They look light, but feel really dense. I wonder what it was for. See those boxes? There's some plates inside, and I'm not talking about the kind you eat dinner on. They look light, but feel really dense. I wonder what it was for. See those boxes? There's some plates inside, and I'm not talking about the kind you eat dinner on. They look light, but feel really dense. I wonder what it was for.
A Technomancer gate. Gonna need your help, Andrew.
Then my help's what you'll get, buddy.
Zachariah Rogue in the flesh. Guess some rumors are true after all. Time to take out the trash. Kill them all.
Abundance couldn't make a better servant than that one. Nice, talkative, ambitious, and perfectly brainwashed.
Sadly, he's less brainwashed than stupid. The type that's submissive to any kind of power, right or wrong. Let's get out of here. This tablet's obviously ancient, but the text's undecipherable. This'll make for one hell of a translation job. Great Master Ian's the only one who could have read it. Maybe Dandolo's heard of another Technomancer who could, though. Still can't believe Alan was here.
Talk about climbing the corporate ladder, right? That fucker's now the alpha technomancer of abundance.
How can he vouch for Victor, the man who caused the death of our great master? I knew Alan was ambitious, but to that extent?
There will always be men who will sell out for phony rewards. Give him a medal, a pompous title, and he'll ask you where and when to turn in his mother. This infection of uncurbed greed happens even among mutants. Just look around. You've seen the pen. Some of the Guardians are mutants themselves. And they can be the harshest of them all, disciplining for the sake of breaking in their batons.
You taught your rival a lesson. Now we should know better than to run after you.
If I know Alan, it'll only get worse.
At least we found some information, even if we can't read it. How's your ancient hieroglyphics, Zach?
No, I can't. Nobody I know can, except Great Master Ian. It's a coded language that's nearly impossible to learn.
Dandola will find you a translator. Let's hope it's worth it, and not something boring like a soup recipe.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for my friend Scott. He just disappeared. Any idea where he could have gone?
Can't say that I have. He's not at the caravansary, though. If you want, I can check with my informants. Might have joined the caravan that just left, though. Your pal looked like he was missing Ophir, honestly. Then again, maybe he was kidnapped. Never can tell.
Just let me know if you hear anything. I need to find him. Thanks for the help.
My pleasure, as always.
They found some ancient documents. Looks like they date back to the settlers, but they're written in a language I can't read.
And I thought you technomancers were so well versed in our old dialects.
Maybe in Aurora. In Abundance, we're soldiers first and last. We learned some colonial knowledge during training, but the languages are barely taught. The Great Master was the only one who had that kind of knowledge.
So, now you need a technomancer from Aurora to translate. I might know of someone. A renegade of sorts who left Shadowlair to become a hermit. Word was, though, your former comrades captured him. If he managed to hide what he was, he's probably a captive in one of their forced labor camps.
Then getting to him won't be easy.
Exactly. But if you want your document translated, you might just have to find a way.
I think I know the camp Dandolo mentioned to you. It sounds like their main camp, so I wouldn't be surprised if the man you're looking for is there. And I want to go with you. Have a few things to settle there. This is important to me, Zachariah. What they do to the prisoners there is inhuman. I just want to help as many as I can.
You're not telling me something, are you?
I was a prisoner there once. I can't tell you what they did to me. I'm just asking you. Take me with you.
I get why you'd want to free him, but it also makes me nervous about letting you tag along. If we get there and you let your emotions run away with you, it's my life you're risking too.
You know me better than that. You've seen me keep my cool in the worst situations. Think about it all you want, but I'm the one who knows that camp by heart, remember? It's gonna be more dangerous for you to go in without me.